Hi guys, and welcome back. Sorry for the short break in the news. I've been away at SEMA, and if you haven't seen it already, you can check the video out here. It did have some interesting cars, and surprisingly, for the cars that kind of caught my attention mainly was the older cars. So as you guys know, I do love the E30 M3, and there was two E30 M3s there that are quite special. So one of them was an S55 swapped E30 M3 made by the guys at Honest Assembly, and the second one was Kizel's E30 M3 with a wide body kit. You can check both of those cars out in the episode we released on Friday. Now onto the news. While I've been away, there has been some interesting news about the M8 and BMW's CSL program. So I'll start with the M8. As you know, whenever BMW make an M5, they generally make a coupe version of it. We did cover this in an earlier episode. And what they tend to do is they take the M5 drivetrain, running gear and everything. So you can say it's an M5, and they give it a beautiful coupe body. Now we've seen renders and we've seen the actual real M8 Gran Coupe, which is a stunning car. And now we're starting to see more of the actual M8 production car. We do think there will be a Gran Coupe version, so hopefully it will look like the concept. But the coupe does look really good. We can see what the 850i is going to look like, but the M8 that's been teased actually goes a bit further. So you can see that it's got an M-style front bumper with wider grills at the front and deeper air dams. It's also got the quad exhaust on the back, and it's going to have the same four-wheel drive switchable system to two-wheel drive with the automatic gearbox and the 4.4 V8 twin turbo engine. So we expect it to be just as fast as the F90 M5 and have the same amount of power. But what I've found with M6s generally is that because they have a lower center of gravity, they actually handle slightly better than the normal M5 due to that fact. Not usually faster, but just cornering on the limit when you're doing higher speeds, I find that they're a bit more responsive and they feel more agile. Now the car's also been seen testing around the Nurburgring. Still in camouflage, and as you can see from the video, it does sound really good. Now the F90 M5 does sound good with or without the sports exhaust. The sports exhaust does add that little bit more sound, and from the video you can see that the car's making some nice noises on downshift. We can't tell from the video obviously which exhaust are fitted to the test car, but I guess we'll find out soon. The other thing I want to mention on the M8 is that it looks like they switched the wheels out from the general one that the F90 M5 and the F90 M5 competition are getting, and it looks like it's a version of the homage wheel that we've seen on the 2002. On the pictures that we've seen with the M8 in camouflage, the wheels are in one color, which I don't think really works on the car. I do like this wheel, but I love it when they do the monotone, so it hides some of the aspects of it and highlights just some of the spokes. So I really hope that when they actually make the M8, it does look like the wheel from the homage. Now I'm really excited about this car. Obviously we have an F90 M5, and I am planning on switching it out for a M8 when it comes out, hopefully the Gran Coupe version, but we'll see what happens. So in other news this week, there has been a leak of what looks like a internal training slide from a BMW training meeting or something like that, and you can see that it shows the structure of the M models going forward. So it shows you a CSL at the top of the tree being track focused, it shows a CS being track focused but having to be able to do daily duties, and then it says there's a competition, and then under the competition there's the normal M. Now we know normal M's are still very capable cars, people still take them on the track, and they do normally need some slight modifications, especially on the brakes, to handle that. The competition is a bit of a step up from the normal M model, and then the CS is a step up again and it's slightly more focused. But it'll be really interesting to see what BMW do with the CSL models and what they actually make CSL model with. So we're pretty sure that they'll do like an M3, M4 CSL, and I'm hoping very much so an M2 CSL, because I still have my deposit down for that since 2015 and I really want that car to come out. Whether they do an X5 M CSL or X6 M CSL, I wouldn't expect them to. The car's really heavy, how much weight are you going to save on it? And it really doesn't make sense to the CSL brand to do that. So it does show us that BMW is going to bring the CSL back. What they apply that to, we don't know, but if they only apply it to the M2 CSL and the M3, M4 CSL, I'll be a happy guy. Now, sticking to the M theme we have running through this episode, we have seen a render of a Z4 M, and not just the Z4 M with the soft top, because we know the Z4 is only coming out in the soft top. This one has been rendered with the hard top, which we know has been reserved for the Supra. Now, we know BMW have said that they're not making an M version of this Z4, but this hardtop rendered version does look absolutely amazing, and it's a real shame that BMW are not making an M version of this car. The Z4 M in the previous versions, especially with the hardtop, has been a really good car to drive. When you compare the soft top to the hardtop in terms of rigidity, it's a lot more rigid and it's a lot more enjoyable to drive. You can really feel the difference in the stiffness in the chassis. Now, we don't know now why BMW only have the soft top version available, or why they're not even making the M version, but I believe it's probably got something to do with the fact that Supra may have requested exclusivity on the hardtop version of this chassis. Either way, the Z4 looks like it's going to be a good car. It's a real shame that the M version is not coming out, and it's an even more of a shame that they're not making a hardtop version of the Z4, and especially in M, guys. Now, SEMA is used as a platform to showcase new products, and the most exciting product I saw at SEMA, that was BMW related at least, was the EcuTek are going to release a tuning suite for the BMW models on the S55 and the N55 initially. Now, if you don't know about EcuTek products, they're very big in the Japanese scene. It's basically a product that allows you to flash the ECU and provides you with full tuning tables. And the interesting thing about EcuTek is that once they get fully into an ECU, they can do things that a lot of other people can't. So I'll just give you an example on this. On the R35, they have something called Race ROM, and that allows you to do map switching on the fly, and it also allows them to change the traction control strategy on the cars. Now, they have told me that that is going to come hopefully in the first quarter of next year, so we're really excited about that because that will give a lot of possibilities. So I'll just explain how the map switching on the fly works on their R35 product, and basically you can change the maps on the cruise control button from the steering wheel, and the car will tell you what map it's on the RPM counter. So 1000 is map 1, then map 2 is 2000, and so on. So you could have like a low boost map, a high boost map, then you can have a map set up for high octane fuel, and then you can have a map set up for methanol. Now, that's going to be a real game changer for BMWs when they're able to do this, because at the moment, for any of the other tuning platforms out there, you have to basically plug something into your OBD socket and switch the maps. So allowing you to switch it on the fly is going to be a really cool feature, and also the fact that they can change the traction control strategy is going to be a real good application on BMWs. As we know, because they're rear-wheel drive, it's very important to try and manage the way the power is delivered, and if they can manage the traction control a bit better, that's going to be a really good feature for a lot of customers. Finally, I want to thank everyone for your suggestions on our next project car. Now, we have said that we're going to do a project car, but we want to use a slightly older one. As you know, currently all our project cars are current models, so we were suggested with the E46 M3, the E92 M3, E39 M5, and I think one person mentioned E60 M5. Now, we have owned all of those cars before, so we want to go back to one of those cars and basically talk about what maintenance is required on these cars as they're a bit older now, and then go through the whole modification process on it all the way up to supercharged, because these are NA cars. Now, it looks like the E46 M3 and the E92 M3 are the current favorites. That's also mirrored within our office. If I talk to the guys here, that's what they want us to get as a next project car. So we're going to make a decision on that in January, so keep your eyes on that, and then we hope to build that project up over the course of the next year and have it probably done by summer so it can do the rounds at the shows in the UK. So that's the news. If you want to watch more BMW related news, you can watch that over here. If you'd like to watch something YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. Now, if you did like the video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you've got any questions, you can put those in the comments for us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.